it's Amy D with Amy D Coaching, and today we're talking about buyers and whether or not you should work with someone who's not yet been pre-approved. My answer to that, if you don't know this already, is no, absolutely not. They're not pre-approved or they don't have cash. They're not actually a buyer. They're just a dreamer, which is wonderful, and we want to support them, but we don't want to spend our Saturday afternoon showing them houses. So for me, this is a very practical thing. My time is very, very valuable, and I just can't afford to be driving around with someone who's not able to close on a property. And what you need to remember, even if you're just starting out in this business, that your time is very, very valuable as well, and your time is better spent finding qualified buyers than it is driving around looking at houses with unqualified buyers. And I think every single person with a real estate license knows this, even if they've only been licensed an hour. What I think is really going on is people are either afraid to ask, or you may have asked before and found the resistance. So I think what's really going on is twofold. One, you need the confidence that your time is more valuable than this activity warrants. And number two is that you don't know quite how to ask in a manner that's going to get you the results that you want. So I think it's only fair in this conversation to kind of share some of my tips with you. This is another reason why I'm a huge fan of the buyer broker consultation, because once I bring someone into my office, you can ask them just about anything, especially if you've written it down on pieces of, so you've got your little consultation. Here's how the home buying process works. Step one is to talk to a lender. Have you done that step yet? I mean, it's on paper. We have to talk about it. So makes it very easy. People do not shut down when they see that, when we're just checking stuff off to see where we're at, what have we done, what still needs to be done. Another great time is, I do often ask when I'm setting up the appointment. It depends on how that conversation's going. But, if they've told me that they want to buy a home in a certain price range, oh, that's great. How'd you come up with that number? And someone who's not pre-approved will say, oh, I don't know, that's just kind of what houses in our neighborhood are going for. Or, we've been looking online and the houses we like are about that price range. Okay, great. This is someone who's going to need to talk to a lender, most likely. Someone who is pre-approved, when you say, how did you come up with that number? They will tell you, when we told our lender how much we were comfortable paying per month, they said that's what it equated to. So that's someone who at least has spoken to a lender and may or may not be pre-approved. And that's actually a great time to say, oh, great, who's your lender? How far along in the process have you gotten with them? Have they taken your full application yet? Or are you still just getting stuff over to them? So you can be very casual about it without saying, are you pre-approved? Do you have the money? Right? So, because that's what kind of puts people off, is when you're coming at it too soon and maybe too aggressively. But if it's just a very casual part of the conversation, it's very, very easy to determine. And if you're operating with the belief in your head that you just can't afford to be working with someone who isn't, still set the appointment with someone who isn't, because that's actually the best time to find out if they are or not. But don't go show them houses.